Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite dishes from Louisiana. It's something that I've been making before I was even visiting Louisiana, and I've certainly refined it since my visits there. It is jambalaya. Today's sponsor is Louisiana Seafood. You can learn more about the seafood of Louisiana by going to louisianaseafood.com. I recently was able to go on a press trip to Louisiana and learned all about the seafood industry. I even got to go deep sea fishing, which was wonderful. You know, lately they've had some trouble because of the oil spill and all these other things, but the trouble is really only with public perception. The seafood industry in Louisiana is the highest in regulations, and the quality of the food that comes out is probably higher than anything else in America. And that really just has to do with how well it's being caught and how well it's preserved, and really just the stringency of the actual fishermen themselves. So if you go to your local grocery store and you can find Louisiana seafood, I recommend you get your hands on it because it is totally clean and totally tasty. Learn more about the Louisiana seafood industry by going to louisianaseafood.com. So jambalaya is this Louisiana Creole dish that's very, very close in origins to some French and Spanish dishes, most notably the Spanish dish called paella. And it's basically meat and vegetables that's sort of cooked in a stock along with some rice. And unlike a lot of the dishes of Louisiana cooking, this is something that is actually pretty fast to make. Where roux-based dishes will take hours to just make the roux, this you can whip up in an hour total. Now, there are a lot of controversies around the word jambalaya in terms of its origins, but the most logical one seems to me that it originates from a provincial word which kind of means all jumbled up. And this makes sense because in a poem in 1837, the word jambalaya was first printed to refer to this dish that was kind of all mixed up. Now, there seem to be two sides to everything in Louisiana, and there are two sides to jambalaya. There are those who like a red jambalaya or a Creole jambalaya, and that basically is jambalaya with tomatoes in it. And then there is the Cajun camp, which is a brown jambalaya which has no tomatoes in it whatsoever. Most likely, Creole jambalaya originates from the French Quarter in New Orleans. The Spanish residents sort of were longing for the dish paella, but didn't have access to saffron. So over time, they started adding tomatoes and some of the spices that are native to the Caribbean, and the dish jambalaya was born. When it made its way outside of New Orleans to surrounding Louisiana, where they didn't have tomatoes, they just omitted them, and brown jambalaya was born. Some of the main ingredients in jambalaya are chicken, a specific type of sausage called andouille. This is like a key ingredient. You can't just put like sweet Italian sausage in this thing. And finally, a ham called Tasso ham. Now, Tasso is something that, it's easy to get in Louisiana, and I've only been able to find it at 2 or 3 high-end butchers in New York City. You can order it online from someone like D'Artagnan, but if you don't have it, don't worry, you can add more salt, but if you can get your hands on it or get it shipped to you, I recommend it because it's amazingly tasty. So jambalaya is sort of one of the easier dishes to prepare because it all goes in one pot and it cooks up pretty quickly. Today we're going to make my version of jambalaya. I've been making it for a while. I think that it's a pretty good recipe, but I would love to hear your feedback. So if you have something that you'd like to change about it, feel free to drop me an email or post a comment in the comments below. First, brown and saute about 5 or 6 lengths of andouille sausage. Then take them out and brown some cubed up tasso in the fat. Then take that out and cook about 4 pounds of cubed up chicken thigh meat inside of the same fat. Now add back all of the meat. Now you're going to add in your trinity, which is going to be about a half a diced white onion, 2 diced up celery, and a half of a diced bell pepper. Finally, it's time for seasonings. Add a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of garlic powder, tablespoon of onion powder, tablespoon of black pepper, your favorite hot sauce, of course that's Crystal, about a tablespoon of tomato paste, a teaspoon of salt, and stir it all together. Now add some cayenne pepper, thyme, a bay leaf, and fill it up to the top with chicken stock. Bring this to a boil, then add about 1.5 cups of rice and cover it. Cook it for about 15 minutes. Do not open the lid. And when it's all done, you will have perfect jambalaya. So that is how I make my jambalaya. Of course, everybody has their own variation. Do not open up the pot to check it until 15 or 20 minutes have passed. You don't want the steam to escape. And this is great. It's a great party thing. You can make it in large batches, as I often do, and it's actually not that expensive to be producing. Tune in tomorrow for another What's This Food. Check out our sponsor, louisianaseafood.com. And if you have something you want me to cover, you can post it in the comments below. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/danieldelaney. I will see you tomorrow.